Have you ever watched a movie where you thought it was one movie because of the name? When you get done with it, you find out it was the wrong movie that you should have been watching. Well, I just did that because my sister, who's gonna be on the next episode, or one of the feature episodes, I should say, not the next one, because my schedule is weird when it comes to reviews. We're gonna review a movie called Truth or Dare. Now, we both looked at this on Netflix, and she's like, I've seen this movie already, and I'm not gonna tell you how it ends, Ali, but let's do this review. I was like, alright, bet, let's do the review. So, I'm gonna watch this movie, thinking it's the same movie that she watched. We discussed it, kind of find out it's not the same movie. So now I gotta go watch that movie, but before I can watch that movie, I gotta review this movie. This movie is Truth or Dare from 2017. That movie is Truth or Dare, the actual version for 2018. Completely different movies, but I'm guessing the same premise, because this one, I'm gonna try to contain myself. But you guys know how I feel when I watch a bad movie. It's a dumpster fire. I'm gonna lay it out right now in this opener. You wanna know the grade? You probably should watch it to the end on the grade. But this movie, I'm putting my hands in my pocket. It's a dumpster fire, and let's go ahead and get this review over with, because yeah. What's up, world? Welcome to another episode of Movie Breakdowns. I'm your host, Ali Zaka. What's up, world? Welcome to another episode of Movie Breakdown. I'm your host, Ali Zaka. What is Movie Breakdown? The movie review series where we look at new and old movies, give them a grade, A through L, plus and minuses do count. And if there's a movie you want me to review, let me know. Please put in the comment section below, and I'll get to it as best I can. I'll also have a Patreon, Patreon/Ali Zaka. And on this Patreon, you get first come, first serve, you get trailer reaction, trailer reviews, first thoughts, you get all that plus more. And on top of that, you get reviews before they come out on Facebook and YouTube, so you have to wait for them. Right now, Patreon, has reviews all into November and ready to be watched. And right now, this is October, but when you're watching this is probably gonna be November, if not December. This is gonna be November. Yeah, mid-November, I believe. If not, it's gonna be beginning of December. 1 to 2, because I'm reviewing this early. But this movie, let's go and get into today's review of 2017 Truth or Dare. Now, it's on Netflix, and I was like, let's watch this, okay? Let's do this. And I'm thinking this is the theatrical version. Kind of find out this is not the theatrical version. This is the made-for-TV movie that came out in 2017. So, going into it, I'm thinking, this came out in theaters. Curious how it's going to be. And the movie opens up in a very, just cut part into the movie, right into the action. You're like, did I miss a step? Did I skip something? This is how the movie opens up? Okay, just so abruptly. Which I had no problem with that. But it kind of set the pace of this movie pretty much. It kind of tells you what kind of movie it's going to be, the way it opened up. And you're like, alright, sure, let's roll with it. And, by the way, this is a spoiler review, so you haven't seen the movie, go watch it on Netflix if you want to. But if you don't like spoilers, stop right now. I'm going to continue. First thoughts, besides the abrupt opening. I guess you already got the first thoughts in the opener, but the continuation of my first thoughts is that this movie is not a good movie. The acting is not great. It's subpar to bad at points. The character motivation is not great in this movie. The writers themselves didn't write it out in a way the characters made sense. They had little bright spots where characters started realizing things like, oh, this is how we do this. This is how we beat the demon that's forced us into this death pact. But I'm not going to mention it. She mentioned, there's one point that particularly stands out to me in this movie where the main character's or one of the main characters, she goes, this is why this demon is making us do these things, because one person did this, another person did that, and another person did this, and we got to face our fears in a sense. And then somebody asks her, well, what are your fears? And it cuts, or it comes to another scene and doesn't ever mention it. It doesn't talk about her fears, it doesn't talk about what bothered her, nothing. So at the end of the movie, I don't know what her fears was, and it doesn't make any sense. Not at all, like, but everybody else made sense. But then you have things where they figure out, like, okay, this person did this, and they lied about it, so they will die. But then the one person told the truth about what he did, and the demon's like, no, you still gotta get hit by a car. What? Or they will be trapped in this house. They get out the house like about 40 minutes or 30 an hour into the movie, and then the demon follows them outside the house for no apparent reason. Like, they signed this death pact by playing this game Truth or Dare, and I'm just like, this what we're doing here. This is what we're doing, and the movie doesn't really explain how you win the game. One girl who played the game in 1983, I believe, she still got burnt but survived being burnt. And apparently the demon just let her be. It was like, yeah, you won. You're good. But then the rest of them was like, we did every little thing you did. And the demon was like, you have to kill the girl. And we was like, what? Okay. Doesn't make any sense. And then the ending had a really gruesome, like, got cut body parts off scene for no apparent reason, just to have it in the movie, because horror movie. And then it abruptly cuts at the end of the movie. Just like the movie abruptly opens, this movie abruptly ends. I'm just thinking to myself, did the writers think this was a good idea to end a movie like this? Okay, sure. So what's the movie about? It's about 8 college students who go to a haunted stay-away, or haunted Airbnb. They stay in this house because it's probably haunted, and they play Truth or Dare within the house. Weird things supposed to happen. They decide to play Truth or Dare, and it starts off with simple kiss this person, and then it turns into did you sleep with somebody, then it turns into put your hand on the stove, and it just spirals out from there. And probably each round you play, somebody dies, and there'll probably be one winner at the end of the game. It is very simple, but the writing does not help this movie out at all. Like, instead of being trapped in the house, because one person does die, instead of being trapped in the house, they decided to go take this outside the house. Instead, they got to go back to the house to finish the game, which doesn't make any sense. They won, in a sense. They got out the house. The demon kept them in the house and they let them go. So in a sense, they won. But the demon apparently could follow them outside the house for whatever reason. In that case, it would be following the girl from 1983 who survived. But whatever, we're not going to dive into that. They bring a girl in for no reason who doesn't need to be a part of anything. You had a guy who decided to rob a place because the ghost had robbed the store for some reason. And then the guy goes and do it, which had nothing to do with the house. It just, like, certain things happen in this movie that didn't really make sense and didn't really add up. And then they didn't really finish things. They just let it be. It's like the writer's like, whoa, one girl afraid of bugs. Gotta get eaten by bugs. Towards the end of the movie, as she said, she doesn't afraid of anything. And some of the things, like the doctor plays Russian roulette and gets killed, but that wasn't his fear, so it didn't really make sense. I feel like this movie had an idea of where it wanted to go and just didn't deliver it right, and the acting didn't help, and some of the story beats didn't help, and the writing didn't help. But yeah, that's my thoughts on the movie and the story. Pretty much them playing a game of Truth or Dare, and the winner, because it's supposed to be a winner, you don't ever get who the winner is. I guess the demon just wins. Doesn't really explain how the demon got there, but he's just there. I don't know. I watched this movie. I watched it, took notes, and still just like, I don't know. That's bad when you watch a movie and you're just like, okay, but that didn't make sense, writer. That didn't make sense. It's like you just made this movie just to make the movie. But it's a made-for-TV movie. Let's get into actors and characters. So, everyone in this cast did subpar. Cassandra, I'm gonna mess the last names up, but Cassandra Scherbo, who plays Alex, she ended up being the main character in the movie. She's one of the girlfriends of one of the boyfriends in the movie, but also one of the best friends of one of the girls in the movie. And they have a little beef about them both hooking up with the same guy who didn't tell his girlfriend, but also hinted that he liked her at one point in this movie. So that played out into a scene about like who slept with who. She apparently was a character who was smarter than the game, but yet didn't really reveal how the game worked to everybody, and kind of let some people die for no reason. So I believe her name is Brittany Sharpey. It was B-R-Y-T-N-I, or Brittany Sharpey, who played Maddie. She was the best friend of the girlfriend, and she was also there. I feel like she could have been played by anybody else. Mason Dye, who played Tyler. The doctor, who was the boyfriend, once again could be played by anybody else. Alexis Lemire, who played Jesse, just the new character in the group who didn't really know anybody, but yet she lasts longer because reasons. Ricardo Hoyles, who played Luke. He was a comic relief character, or tried to be, and he ended up saying that he's a comic relief character in this movie. Luke Bynes, who plays Carter. He's the guy who started it all, just kind of there. He gets killed. Harvey Guillén, who plays Holt. Once again, he was he could be the douchebag character, but he's not. He's just a dude who's like, I gotta win the game, no matter what the cost. And then you had Christina Masterson, who played Addison, who was the first person to really die in the movie. She didn't really have much of a point in the movie at all, but just to be the first person to die. And then you have Heather Langenkamp, who played Donna Boone, who pretty much told everybody what the deal was, but didn't really help out the group at all. The cast is subpar. It's not a great cast. And I'm not sure what the movies they played in, so I can't say it was the actors or the writers or the directors, but they didn't really shine a light on these people. I think the bright spot would probably have been Ricardo Hoyles, who played Luke. I think he's probably one of the bright spots. And then I guess Brittany and Cassandra, they did okay, but it was just okay. It wasn't like, oh my gosh, gotta watch these people in the movies. It's like, okay, they did okay. Okay. Anything else to talk about? The music, cheesy, not really the greatest music. Lighting, not really. The cuts in the movie, they do a lot of cuts in certain scenes that was unnecessary cutting. Like they'll splice a scene into another scene to another scene, and like cut back to one person, cut back to the other, cut back to one. Trying to get that anxiety feeling, but it didn't really work. It's just like, who am I following here? Is this a Friday night movie? No, don't put it on a Friday night in grade time. I'm gonna grade 2017 Truth or Dare a D-. It's a D-. It's a very subpar movie. The writing's not that great. The acting's not that good either, but it could be a fault of the directors, the way he directed the people. I don't know. It's ready for TV movie. I thought it was the theatrical movie, but now I gotta watch the theatrical movie because this one didn't hit it out the park. If you guys saw Truth or Dare on Netflix, 2017's Truth or Dare, what did you think? Please put in the comment section below. Other than that, see you guys in the next episode of Movie Breakdowns, and keep being awesome. Thank you guys for watching this episode. I really appreciate it. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Also, you want to see what else I'm doing in my normal life and other things that's going on, please follow me on Instagram at Ali_Zaka. I'll put it right here around my face. Yep, right there. Also, if you want more episodes of Movie Breakdowns or Grind Towards Success or whatever it is I'm doing on YouTube, you know what? Follow my page right here, like I said before, the little comment thing right there, And then you can watch the last episode of Movie Breakdowns right here, and watch the last episode of Grind Towards Success right there. Other than that, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate y'all. See y'all next time. Keep being awesome.